Exploring alternate healthcare models. Any healthcare practitioner will very quickly realize that the existing, now falsified medical model is lacking. For almost 100 years, people have been exploring better options. Let's explore historical medical model theories with the knowledge of how the universe works. Psychosomatic medicine models of the 1930s. Introduced by pioneers like Franz Alexander, this model focuses on the interaction between physiological factors and physical health. The word psychosomatic is highly polarizing because it was generally used by men to discount women's very real problems. Because according to the now falsified medical model, they shouldn't have had any problems. It should have been labeled stress-caused illness, and this is very serious. It can paralyze you, it can make you blind, and even kill you. Today, it is much more broadly accepted that stress and illness are linked. Why this misses the mark is because it's not the psychological or physical stress that causes the illness. It's the lack of harmony that is the cause. Humanistic model of medicine of the 60s. This emphasized empathy, compassion, and the human connection for medical care. This is another great advancement, and without the human connection, compassion, and love, people die. In fact, if you want to cut someone's health and lifespan in half, the easiest thing to do is put them into solitary confinement. Holistic health model of the 60s and 70s. This emphasized treating the whole person, mind, body, and spirit, rather than just the symptoms of disease. This is another great step forward and another piece to the puzzle. Unfortunately, the medical system translated the mind as the brain, and that it must be deficient in pharmaceuticals. Patient-centered model of 1969. This is popularized by Michael Balint. It emphasized the understanding of the patient's subjective experience in fostering the doctor-patient relationship. Yet another piece of the puzzle. This is the number one most important factor in healing psychological problems, is how strong the relationship is with the psychologist or psychiatrist.
Ecological model of health in the 1970s. This highlighted the influence of the environment, social, and behavioral factors on health, often used in public health and epidemiology. This adds environmental factors, but it's lacking because there are people exposed to environmental toxins that thrive, and some that aren't exposed and don't thrive. There's too many outliers.
The biopsychosocial model of 1977. This is proposed by George Engel. The model integrates biological, psychological, and social factors to understand health and illness. I really like this one. This guy was awful close. Critiques of his model include, it was very complex. It integrated multiple factors that were time-consuming and resource-intensive to measure. And it was very subjective. Psychological and social components are very difficult to measure objectively. This one factor, meaning lazy scientists find it hard to do, is probably the greatest single factors of slowing down the advancements of the human race. Don't get me started. It is complex, but human bodies are complex. But it's still missing something. Before every single root, there is a seed. The root isn't the cause of the plant. The seed is. Focusing on the root doesn't stop more seeds from germinating. Social determinants of the health model of 1980. This focus on factors on how income, education, and social support impact health outcomes. This is so interesting that proponents can say, tell me your zip code and I'll tell you how long you live. They say the life expectancy gap between Chicago's poorest and most affluent neighborhoods is close to 30 years. However, they gloss over the outliers, and they shouldn't gloss over them. They should stop and study the outliers, because that's when you start to learn why. Outliers point to laws. But yes, we know harmonically birds of a feather flock together. This makes perfect harmonic sense. Transactional model of stress and coping, 1984. This is proposed by Richard Lazarus and Susan Folkman. In this model, it examined how individuals manage stress and its impacts on health. This is another model emphasizing stress as the root cause. They're still forgetting the seed comes first. The functional model of 1991, founded by Jeffrey Bland, it focuses on identifying and addressing the root causes of disease through personal treatment. This is highly popular as it's much more science-based approach to alternative medicine. It's still root cause focused, meaning the problems just transmute to another one. The spiritual health model of 1990s. This incorporated spiritual beliefs and practices as part of the holistic care. This one starts to point out how life purpose is important, and they nailed it. This is one of the 3 factors that I call the health hurdles, that if you don't have, don't bother trying to heal. We'll talk about these more in depth later. Cultural Competency Model of 1990s. This stressed the importance of understanding and respecting cultural differences in the healthcare delivery. This is another piece to the puzzle. Different cultures have different efficacy rates based on pills versus shots. Even the color of the pill matters. Integrative Medicine of 1993. This is championed by Andrew Wild. It combines conventional medicine with evidence-based complementary and alternative therapies. This is mostly the basis of the alternative functional integrative schools of thought. They have what's called the lifestyle imperative.
Diet and exercise. Diet and exercise.
And don't forget supplements and detoxing. Lifestyle Medicine Model of 2004. This focuses on lifestyle changes such as diet and exercise, stress management to prevent and treat chronic diseases. This one is the same as the last, but mainly focuses on just the lifestyle imperative. Narrative Medical Model of the 2000s. This was developed by Rita Charan. This model emphasized the role of storytelling and narrative about the understanding of patients' experiences and improving care. I like this one because it starts to integrate cognitive behavioral therapy and philosophy into healing, one of the 3 hurdles that we're going to talk about later. But all of these are missing something. They are foundationally missing how the universe works, because you can't find the cure of disease unless you understand the cause. The true cause of disease is not random, not because of sins, not because of genetics, not a lack of pharmaceuticals, not a lack of supplements, not because of toxins, not because of lifestyle choices, not dietary choices, and it's not an imbalance. Because on every single one of those factors, you will find people who made the right choice and still got sick, and others who made the wrong choice and never got sick. There are trillions of data points to confirm it, and you've already witnessed it in your life. All the data points to one inescapable fact. The cause of all disease is disconnection from source energy, who you really are, infinite intelligence, your inner being. Therefore, the order of operation is first, connect you back up to your source energy and learn how to get in harmony with your inner being. And then infinite intelligence will guide your action through inspiration to the fastest, cheapest, most perfect, efficient path to healing. Now, all the other modalities can come into play and used as directed via harmonized intention and followed through with inspired paths. The process of healing is to understand who you are and why you are here. Then you get in harmony with your source energy, inner being, whatever you want to call it. Set your intention for a good feeling body, get in alignment with that desire, and followed through with inspired action. This is how you heal. What doctors will never tell you and what every medical trial misses. Since everything is about harmony, the reason why you hear what's being broadcast on a radio station is because the radio is tuned to that frequency. The brain isn't like a filing cabinet. It's a broadcasting and receiving mechanism. Every aspect of your life is like this radio. Let's say that in essence, regarding aspects of your life and body, everything's connected, you have it set on painful things. You go to your healthcare provider and they look and they say that your painful problem is because of lifestyle or genetics, or point to lab results, or saying that you may be deficient in X, Y, or Z. But those indicators aren't the cause of the painful problem. They are the fruit of what you are tuned to harmonically. When you pinch yourself off from source energy, yes, everything stops working optimally. You will absorb fewer nutrients. You will heal slower. You will break down faster. That's not the cause of your pain. That's a result of pinching yourself off. All practitioners from all schools of thought will say it's an imbalance. It is not. If you plant a weed in fertile ground and tend to it properly, it will grow and flourish. There is no imbalance in this situation. Nothing has gone wrong. Everything is in perfect harmony with the laws of the universe. Now, it's true you don't want that weed in your garden, but nonetheless, you planted it, you took care of it, it's there. Now, your practitioner might work their magic and get rid of that weed, and you might leave the office pain-free and in love with your provider. But you never changed the radio station. It's still set on painful thing. And here is the little secret no doctor will ever tell you. Patients always come back complaining about the same pain, or more likely, another pain in their body. This was explained by the Harmony video. This is what America's best doctor called the symptom imperative, or what Freud called the symptom substitution phenomenon, or what modern medical doctors observe as whack-a-mole medicine. Now do you see how everything fits together perfectly? I've seen this every single day for years. And now you can tell what every medical trial suffers from. Let's say a protocol has 100% cure rates and everyone jumps up and down as they leave. But what they will never tell you, and what they never follow up on, because it's beyond their scope, since people never changed the station in which they were harmonically tuned to, the problems transmuted or came back. We're going to go over this in depth and go over how to change the station in the next videos. But let's see if we can't find a medical model that honors the laws of the universe and science as truth. If quantum theory is correct, it signifies the end of physics as a science. Albert Einstein. We already know the fruits of the reductionist medical model are grossly ineffective and deadly. Quantum science explains nature and behavior as a matter of energy on a subatomic level. As Einstein points out, if quantum theory is correct, that would disrupt the very foundations of physics and therefore all science, including biomedical science. The materialist and reductionist hypothesis seems logical to the observer. We can reduce complex systems into a matter of smaller parts, yet there is no actual scientific basis for materialism. In Dr. Kastrup's 2014 book, Why Materialism is Baloney, he points out, quote, "Materialism is a reasonable castle built on top of rotten foundations." Quantum physicist Harry Strapp extrapolates, quote, that the fundamental ideas of classical physics were not just limited, but wrong. Cornell psychologist Daryl Bem states, quote, "The phenomenon of modern quantum physics are mind-boggling, but they are so technical that most non-physicists don't know about them." Dr. Kelly adds, quote, "Few working psychologists and neuroscientists, let alone the public at large, have any conception of the fundamental significance of quantum theory. Classic concepts and approximations are often sufficient to support the concerns of the very special physical sciences. And quantum mechanics is scarcely mentioned in the context of general education, even at the college level. Yet it cannot be emphasized too strongly that classical physics consensus that underwrites practically everything now going on in psychology, neuroscience, and philosophy of the mind has in fact been completely undermined by this tectonic shift in the foundations of physics." Nobel laureate Niels Bohr adds, "Anyone not shocked by quantum mechanics has not understood it." Quantum theory may indeed be the new standard in all science and is steadily moving towards scientific law. Dr. Rosenblum and Cutter point out, quote, "Quantum theory works perfectly. No prediction of the theory has ever been shown in error. It is a theory to all physics and thus to all science. It is the most battle-tested theory in all of science. It has no competitors. Henry Strapp confirms no experimental outcome predicted by it has ever been falsified." With the problems of the existing medical model so self-evident and quantum theory being so recognized, we can conclude there must be quantum factors at play in the body as well, pointing to the need for a new medical model. A small shift in the acceptance of a better medical model will eliminate the paradoxes and allow practitioners to start using intangible yet potent factors. Senior scientist at the Institute of Noetic Sciences says, quote, "On the beneficial side, we can anticipate improved health care through a vastly better understanding of the mind-body relationship. We may see the development of technologies that treats aspects of the mind-body system that are well understood in the wisdom traditions, but are ignored by Western medicine." Existing science requires tangible factors, yet what if unmeasurable factors are at play? What if patients are participating in intangible ways of healing? As quantum physicist John Wheeler points out, to describe what has happened, one has to cross out that old word observer and put in place a new word participator. In some strange sense, the universe is a participatory universe. The quantum scientific evidence to the mind-to-body connection is overwhelming. It is time to embrace a holistic medical model that honors the quantum science's new discoveries. Western medicine has often stumbled upon many of these same findings as placebos, yet mislabels them as nuance or, quote, unexplainable paradox. A new holistic model that utilizes the latest discoveries in human nature, medical science, and quantum theory honors the mind-body connection has been developed. With this model, the paradoxes that have plagued modern medicine since inception have a finely workable, scientific, evidence-backed explanation. And what I'm proposing for you here today is what I'm calling the quantum medical modality, and it works on harmony. Let's explore how it plays out in healing.